Hi, and welcome to Living Beyond Limitations. I'm Kelly Frazier.
And I'm Pauline Victoria. Today we're going to talk about some of our most curious creatures, little children. I know I get a lot of little kids asking me over and over again, especially at my son's preschool. I'll see the same kids every day, and they'll continuously ask me, "You have no arms, why?" They want to know, they're curious, and as well as they should be. And I believe it is my gift to be able to expose them to a different person in a way that is understanding and full of love. And so when children ask me what happened, even if it is for the 100th time, I often say and always will say, God made me this way. And I always make it a point to say, because they point out, you have no hands, I have hands. And I say, yes, you have hands. Therefore, you need to use your hands to help people, not hurt them. And so it gives them another perspective. It helps them relate to me from their standpoint and in a way that hopefully will give them a way to reach out and help people a little bit more.
I just want to say I think that's awesome, how you're able to teach kids like that, because you really are teaching them when you say that. You've had this innate nature about you that automatically does teach people, because your belief is that people see in you what they need to see in themselves, and I agree 100%. And I think it is extremely important for anybody who's got little children to just allow them to explore and ask questions, even if it is a person in a wheelchair. If a person doesn't want to answer the question, they're not going to. And maybe sometimes there might be a few people with disabilities that could be rude to your child, but I think it's really important for you to allow your children to ask the questions that they need to ask, because they're still going to have the question inside whether or not they're going to ask it. So you might as well allow them to at least explore it and get it out. When I was a kid, I grew up with my cousin who was blind and a girlfriend who was deaf, another friend who had cerebral palsy. And this, being exposed to people who have disabilities was extremely valuable for my life. And because of my curiosity, and thank God my parents never, stopped my curiosity in that manner, I was able to connect with those people in a greater way, because I said, can you teach me? I want to learn. I really want to know. And I think that most children do want to know, and that's why they ask the questions, because they too might want to learn. So I think it's very valuable for you to continue encouraging your kids to ask those questions. Maybe you could come up with some questions that both you and your child feel comfortable with. If they do see a person who is disabled, or a person on crutches, or maybe an amputee, so that way you're not feeling uncomfortable or embarrassed, and your child is not feeling uncomfortable or embarrassed.
Yeah, and if you're the person with the disability being asked, you have a beautiful opportunity to teach and to open that child's eyes to people with different abilities, and help them become more accepting and tolerant of people who are different from themselves. And that is priceless. We have the ability as people with disabilities to change a whole generation of children, so that our world will become more equal, and where people will see us as blessings. And so we would love to learn from you. What do you tell children when they ask you what happened to you, or when they're curious? Or what are some funny questions or comments that you've heard? I have heard so many, and maybe we'll share that on another blog about what are the funniest things that kids have said to us to make up what happened to us. Give us your comments, and we can't wait to hear from you. And please go to our Facebook, like us there. And until next week, live beyond your limitations.